And here we are on the second night of the 1982 Australian Modified Sprint Car Championships, brought to you by TRALEE Speedway, Canberra. And we have a procession of the cars involved in the final tonight, those officials and cars, the ambulance, the push cars, the tow trucks. Everybody is out there as they travel around the track to show you just what's involved in running a national title of sprint cars. Just have a look at this crowd here tonight. They are spread all over the ground, and there are absolutely thousands of people outside the gates still waiting to get in. It's a magnificent crowd here to witness this 1982 Australian Modified Sprint Car Championship. Tremendous crowd, cars parked all over the place, and the atmosphere is really building up to this great championship for 1982. The man, I think, who must be favourite tonight to win another Australian Sprint Car Championship, Gary Rush. A great honour for a great driver who has been a great ambassador for this sport all over Australia and overseas. And we hopefully will see Gary perform tremendously well here tonight. And there's the finger, giving us the big wave as he travels round the track to the applause of all the people here tonight to witness this great championship. Well, the cars are lined up now, and we're very close to a start. They circulate around with George Tadnell in pole position, and alongside him, Steve Brazier. Behind George Tadnell, we have Gary Rush, and behind Steve Nipper Lacey, and they're already racing. Are we going to get a start? No, we've already got a prang right around there. Well, this is exactly what happened last year. Exactly what happened last year. The cars coming together, and Gary Rush is involved in this one. Gary Rush, if you remember last year, in the 1981 championships, which he won, he rolled his car over on turn one. And it was very interesting to see them wheel that car back onto the track. But Gary Rush, the true champion he is, got back into that car and won the championship. And look at this here, they're wanting to start. There'll be a car go into the fence here if they don't watch out. No way can they start these races when the cars are out all over the place like that. They need somebody around there to slow these cars down, because they're trying to start this race right on the turns there. Here they go again, and it looks like they're going to let them go. Yes, they're going to let them go. We've got a car against the fence already. Have a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a car stopped around there. They'll have to stop the race and restart it again. Oh my God, this is reminiscent of the 1981 championships. Away we go. These boys just are too anxious here. There's no way they can start this race, not like this. And they're racing already, and we still have the yellow flag out. And they're going to give them the green. We've got to start. We've got to start. Tadnell away. Rush has gone underneath Brazier. Brazier and Rush neck to neck down there. Let's watch this. Brazier and Rush neck to neck. Lacey against the fence. Well, what a dice we've got going on here. We've got cars all over the track again. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. 20 cars fighting for positions and strewn all over the track.
Complete restart.
And we're going to have another complete restart. And as I've mentioned before, it looks like the 1981 championship all over again. Look at the cars, they're still sorting themselves out, and the front guys will go already. Yes, they're off again. And it looks like we're going to get a start. No. The rules. Well, what are the rules? I didn't think they were supposed to start racing until the green flag came down. These guys are racing on the yellow flag, and they need to be spoken to. And they're off again. Look at this. And we've got a green this time, and Rush has made a bold move here. Tadnell, Rush, Brazier. Gary Rush in the second position. George Tadnell still in first, and Steve Brazier in third position. As they come around now, Rush making a desperate bid on Tadnell. Steve Brazier hot on his tail. Look at these three cars go. Bob Kelly in fourth position. Johnny Moore. Well, Tatnall's gone right back. These cars bumping each other. And Brazier spun. Whoa, look at this. Brazier right in the back of the field now. He has stopped. He has stopped. We've got a stop race again. That was Steve Brazier spinning right in front of the start line. And he has caused a race stoppage, which will move him right to the back of the field. Well, the restart with 38 laps to go. Steve Brazier has been put to the back of the field for causing a race stoppage, and we're going to get a start here with reigning champion Gary Rush leading them around. George Tatnall, number 5. Bob Kelly in 3. Hall from South Australia in 69. Well, we've got a race here now. They're all around, and Rush is leading them around. These cars are really flying, and so is the dust here at the moment. Gary Rush leading from George Tatnall, New South Wales. Bob Kelly from Queensland in 3rd. Johnny Moore from South Australia in 4th. Billy Burrows has moved up into 7th position at this stage. A great drive at this early stage of the race. And they're flying around this track. Yes, look at this, ladies and gentlemen. They're single file now, and we should have a good race. We have a car spun here. Rick Dubois has spun. Another race stoppage. And this will close these cars up again. We'll close these cars right up. This will suit some of the cars that are well back in the field. It'll give them a chance to make a jump on one of the cars in front of them if they make a mistake. Well, they've started them again, and away we go. Gary Rush leading them around again. From George Tatnall, New South Wales 5, Bob Kelly in 4, Johnny Moore is next, and we have Dick Britton following them down. Billy Burrows making a move. We've got a car spun here. A big crash of 2 cars. Billy Burrows and another car. I can't pick the other car at the moment. It looks to me like it was number 6, Dick Britton. Bill Burrows, a bad blue. That was bad for Billy. He was running well, but they continue around. Gary Rush still leading them around there from George Tatnall, Bob Kelly and Johnny Moyle. Well, the dust is incredible here. The dust is really flying as these cars work themselves around. Gary Rush making a move. He has left Bill Burrows. Now we'll see what they're like. The traffic is building up. Gary Rush is starting to lap the field now. And George Tatnall is also attempting to get past Billy Burrows. Well, look at this. Billy Burrows is hitting the fence. He's continually hitting the fence. He's having trouble with his car. But Gary Rush is doing it easily here. George Tatnall. Oh, look at that move by Tatnall. Around he goes. And we have a slowdown here. Something's happened. Oh, look at this here. Billy Burrows' wheel, his front axle is bent. We have Bill Burrows out of the race. How disappointing for the South Australians. But the man to watch from South Australia, of course, is Johnny Moyle, doing a great job here at the moment. Yes, we've got to start again here. And away Rush goes. Tatnall hot on his tail. Bob Kelly, Johnny Moyle, and Ian Sams. And another big crash. We've got a big pile up over there. Number 6, Dick Britton, is on his side. Oh, what bad luck for Dick Britton. And I'm not sure who that car is alongside him. Number 12, Barry Guy from the ACT. Well, look at that. Well, we're getting ready for another restart here. Dick Britton is still circulating around that track without a wing. I don't know what's happened here. He's had the black flag, and he should be off the track. These boys are wanting to start, and they're going to start him. Well, this is incredible. Britton is still out there on the track, and they've started the race. Hello, George Tatnall has spun. George Tatnall has spun. Oh, look at this. Well, he's dropped back about 18 places. Right in the back of the field, and Gary Rush has gone right away from him. Right away. Bob Kelly, Queensland, 0-1 in 2nd position. And it looks like Steve Brazier had a big crash here again. Another big pile up. What's going on here? These fellas we'll only have about 8 cars finishing this final at this rate. And if I remember correctly, last year we started with 20 cars and we finished with 7. So interesting to note that Bobby Tunks is in well up there too. And we've got to start with 30 laps to go. And the current Australian champion, Gary Rush, gone right away from him already. Right away, as we go down now with the first 4 cars spread out fairly evenly over the track. But there is a battle going on for those minor positions. Gary Rush in first position. Well, the dust is flying here and things are fast and furious. These cars, well back in the field, are having a big dice to try and improve their position as the first 4 cars get right away from them. Bobby Tunks, who was a reserve, is in 6th position, chasing Kev Worthington from New South Wales. Gary Rush goes underneath us. Bob Kelly, Ian Sams and John Moyle. And down they come, 49, Kev Worthington. Bobby Tunks, New South Wales, 54. And these boys are really running hot. Gary Rush lapping the field and doing it easily here. He seems to have a big break on the rest of the cars here. And we have another car going into the centre of the track. They are slowly falling away now. That is car 7, Jim Winterwellum. But Gary Rush is doing it very nicely as he comes around to pick up one of the slower cars again. John Dean from Queensland, 99, and he's going underneath him now. In hot pursuit here of car 7, number 5, George Tatnell from New South Wales, circulating very smoothly too. And Bob Kelly wheeling his way through the traffic. But Gary Rush is doing it well, lifting the wheel now. This track is drying right out, and the Australian champion is really mowing these cars down. He's got a good break now, and only has to keep circulating to keep everything in order here. This is the way we see Australian champion drive. Brilliant driving by Rush, holding his way through the traffic. No apparent worries at all, but still going at a very hot pace. 22 laps to go as the 1981 champion, and it looks like the 1982 champion sends his car around this track at a furious pace. It looks easy for Gary Rush. My goodness, it must be tough driving out there. New South Wales 49, Kevin Worthington about to be lapped by the Australian champion Gary Rush. Well, let's have a look at some of these other cars circulating around here now. They are spread right out, and we should see an incident-free race. The cars flying underneath here, number 12 and number 5, George Tatnell. Rectifier number 20. Well, the cars are spread out now. It's difficult, but Rush has a big lead over the person running second. Number 5, George Tatnell, making a valiant move there to go inside one of the slower cars. And here they come down here again. Gary Rush has a lot of cars in front of him now, and let's watch him circulate around this track. He's about to overtake car 55, Terry Becker from New South Wales. He's been held up thinking about an outside move. He's got 3 other cars in front of him now as he comes down with only 18 laps to go. Let's watch this champion wheel his way through these slower cars. He's underneath one. And look at that move, under 99, John Dean. 3 more cars in front of him before he has a clear track. Well, let's see now. He slowed right down. Bobby Tunks. Well, under Bobby Tunks and around Johnny Moyle. Well, I think he's just about lapped the whole field. He is really flying. He has only 15 laps left to go. As around he goes again. A clear track ahead of him as he winds these cars in. Well, it's a one-horse race, ladies and gentlemen. The 1981 champion, Gary Rush, doing it easily here, showing his brilliance. Car 54, Bobby Tunks, Johnny Moyle, 69. George Tatnall, New South Wales 5. There's nobody getting near Gary Rush. Bob Kelly from Queensland still circulating, and he must be well up in the placings. This race has been going that long that we've had to slip in another tape, but we're off and running again. So let's see how these cars line up. Gary Rush, of course, he's doing it easily, waving his arm there, and it's difficult to say who is in second, third and fourth positions, because I think Gary Rush has just about leapt the field here. So we've got Gary Rush, Bob Kelly from Queensland, Ian Sams from New South Wales, and who have we got in fourth? Bobby Tunks. In fifth, Johnny Moyle, and we've got a start. Well, we've got 12 laps, and Gary Rush has gone right away again. Bob Kelly from Queensland, Ian Sams, 57, Bobby Tunks. 11 laps left to go as they come round. These cars trying to sort themselves out here. George Tatnall making a big move here, straight under Moore, and he's gone past Tunks. What a move by Tatnall into fourth position. Something's happened to Bobby Tunks. He is slowed right down. But Gary Rush is going away from him again. George Tatnall in fourth position. They are really spread out here now as they try and make a place up all these cars. Anxious to get up a position. Oh, have a look at Bobby Tunks' tyre. He's blowing an outside tyre and waiting to get back into the centre. Well, that's racing for you. A great chance for Tunks. He was doing very well, but he can't get back into the centre because there's a mass of cars coming at him all the time as Gary Rush continues to lap this field. Look at him move in and out that traffic. He just weaves his way from the outside to the inside as he propels this car forward to another Australian Championship. Very smooth around the corners. Bob Kelly from Queensland being hotly pursued by Ian Sams. But here we have two cars meeting again. Oh, she's fast and furious. And look at Gary Rush lifting the front wheel off the ground as he attempts to make another big move under the two cars, just like they are, not there. Slow cars don't worry this Australian champion. And around he comes again. Only 5 laps to go for another championship to Gary Rush. Bob Kelly from Queensland holding down second position. George Tatnall making desperate moves as they keep going around this track with only 4.5 laps to go. 4 laps for the 1981 champion, and I must say the 1982 Australian Modified Sprint Car champion, Gary Rush. Let's hope nothing happens to his car now, because he's driven a brilliant race as he continues to lap this field. Running in second position, Bob Kelly from Queensland. Ian Sams in third, George Tatnall in fourth. George Tatnall has spun! George Tatnall has spun at the Winfield end of the track. Well, there's another spin with only 3 laps to go. Only 3 laps to go, and it looks like it's in the bag. But Bob Kelly from Queensland, he's going to make one last desperate bid to get behind the Gary Rush. And we've got a start here. Gary Rush has taken the break, and away he's gone again. 2 laps to go. No, 3 laps to go. Bob Kelly in second position, Ian Sams in third, and around they go again. Gary Rush has opened up a big lead already with only 1 lap down there, and it's 2 laps to go as he goes around the Winfield end. Bob Kelly and Ian Sams doing great job there. Car 49, Kevin Worthington from New South Wales, Rick DeBias in 20 as they come round now with only 1 lap to go for the 1981 champion. And I would say the 1982 champion. What a great win here. Bob Kelly from Queensland in 2. And here comes the champion, Gary Rush from New South Wales, 1982 Australian Modified Sprint Car champion. Bob Kelly from Queensland in 2. Ian Sams from New South Wales in 3. Well, that's how they went across the line. I presume that's the finish, but there's one we know who won. And that is the 1981 champion, and the champion before that, and the 1982 champion. And what a brilliant race to Gary Rush, the 1982 Australian Modified Sprint Car Champion.
Gary, the King Rush. Gary Rush, congratulations. You must have lapped the field about 35 times in 40 laps.
I don't know, I was just passing every car in front of me.
All right, Gary, a big trophy for you. One to put up on your shelf. Weighs half a tonne. There's a can of Coke there for you. He's already half finished that. Kidney didn't need it. A sash from our beautiful trophy girl.
That's a 10 out of 10.
Oh, ain't that the truth, mate? Let's pin it on so everyone can see it. At Tralee Speedway in 1982, the Australian Sprint Car Champion, the king of the sprint cars, Gary Rush.
Thanks very much. Well, I want to thank all the fans. I know who they all are, I don't know their names, but I know they're around every racetrack. And they're the people that kept me in racing this year, and my family. But there's a lot of people to thank. Two very dedicated pit crews, the one in Sydney and the one in Melbourne. We all worked as a team. We've been working as a team for 2 years. And they're the people I have to thank very much.
All right, Gary.
There's quite a few people.
Say them, Gary.
We wrote the car off a couple of weeks ago, and we put it back together, and a couple of guys worked day and night to get it ready. The bloke that I owe a lot to is Johnny Barrett, Bob Crilly, Brian Kerr, and all the other fellas. I can't thank too many more. There is others. There's HM Headers. They back me all the way with all exhaust pipes and all technical data. TRALEE, they fly me everywhere. And again, my family and all the fans. Thanks very much.
Okay,